Hi Pisces, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading for June 17th to June 23rd. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you are well. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. So let's go ahead and get started with your reading. This is a general reading for any sun, moon, or rising Pisces. We'll take a look at the cards. We'll get a sense of messages for awareness, for guidance, and possible outcomes. The Lady of the Gift, generosity, receiving, and withholding. So she's sitting there quietly. So the Lady of the Gift. So for our mind for the week, it's a matter of thinking of ways where we can be generous with our spirit, generous with our time, to be of service to others. Perhaps financially helping if you're in a position to do so. The cycle of being generous, of giving to others, but also being open to receiving. And that could be receiving feedback. It could be receiving well wishes. It could be receiving prayers for better health. Whatever state of mind that you're in, this is a multiple prong card here, which means that it's, there are days when you're generous, where you're helping others, and it could be something as small as helping the neighbor bring in their groceries, to receiving, which is maybe having to ask at work that, I'm overloaded. Can you take away some of my projects, or can I get some support here? And allowing yourself to receive the help. The withholding. Now, the withholding is interesting because, when you say withholding, the first thing you think about is, oh, that's a bad thing. You're not able to share. You're not able to be open. But sometimes, sometimes you keep your mysteries to yourself. Sometimes there are some things that you do keep near and dear to your heart. And the withholding, maybe it's just not the right time to share them. And I think that that's okay. It's the cycle here of the Lady of the Gift, which is sometimes you are giving the gift to someone else. Other times you need you need the help, you need some extra support for yourself. And then there are moments when you feel that there are some parts of your life or of who you are that you keep deep within you, and it's just they're not ready to be shared yet. They're your mysteries. It's kind of like what you write in your diary. It's meant for you, and I think that that's cool. I think that's fine. So, Lady of the Gift. It's a beautiful card. Now let's take a look at spiritual self, emotional self, what we're thinking, what we're processing through our heart and through our, all aspects of our life run through this spiritual center. Okay, and this is the Spirit Messages by John Holland, Oracle. Study. Spirit has its own special way of letting you know that it's time to study again. From time to time, it's important to go back and learn, whether that's learning old things in a new way or learning something totally new. It's expanding your mind. And spiritually, whether you want to study about chakras, whether you want to learn to read tarot, whether you want to learn to understand more about eclipses or astrology, or maybe it's computer coding or art. To study is to activate the mind, and it's to keep us moving forward with expansion and not staying in the same place. So, to study, I think it's a great thing, and it may be studying yourself. and trying to understand what makes you tick. And maybe you do that through journaling or through writing short stories where you're able to reveal yourself. But, you know, to study, to always keep your mind open to learning new concepts, new skills, new abilities. It's such an important part. I think it's really connected to body and it's really connected to mind. It just activates everything. And I also think that, you know, when you're able to incorporate more knowledge within your life, then it gives you better judgment and it leads to more wisdom. I would like to believe that as you study and study the things that interest you, then you broaden your own base. And that base is, you know, really adds up to the person that you are and that you hope to be. And so, you know, I think it's awesome to study. And it could be something very simple. It could be wanting to learn to play bridge. And bridge is not simple, by the way. Bridge is complicated. The other thing that I brought that up is, you know, sometimes when we study things that are challenging, we're like, I'm out of this, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore, it's too hard. So you have to find your comfort zone with studying. And if it's too much and it's becoming a drag, then don't do it. Find something else to think about. Find something else to expand your mind and to, you know, expand your center with. There's no prize for being miserable with what you study. So find something of interest to you that is stimulating and that is fun for you to open up a book, to go online, to do some research, to read an article. Okay. So I have body next. And this is the Doreen Virtue Healing Oracle cards. Okay, so this is change physicians. Well, change physicians. I don't know that you need to change your physicians. Just make sure that you have someone that you trust. And make sure that you, you know, go to the doctor on a regular basis. If you can, if you have health insurance, it's a whole nother topic. But I hope that you do, and you know, find someone that you trust. I think that's just the best advice that I could give to you would be to find someone who is within your range of where you can get to, whether you're using public transportation or having to drive to, because the further out they are, the probably unlikely it is that you'll want to go. But, you know, just stay regular with your appointments, and it includes dentist and everything. And, you know, preventative care is staying on top of your health and being able to touch base and talk to a physician or a physician's assistant or even a nurse. I know at some of the senior centers that we have where I live that my mom often gets her blood pressure checked there and talks about nutrition and talks about things with the people that they have on staff who come and visit. So there are some services available hopefully within your community where you have access to doctors and doctoring. So for your body, this is a literal, make sure you're keeping it together with checkups, because you don't want to let things, you just don't want to let things go unnoticed over time. And so, you know, don't be afraid of your doctor. They're there to help you. And hopefully have an honest conversation with them, and, you know, they're going to listen and give you good advice. Okay, so theme for the week. The theme for the week for August 13th through 19th. Joy. Beautiful card, beautiful thought. So let's see, we are being generous, we're open to receiving, we're studying things that make us happy, hopefully. We've got our bodies together with our doctors, and we are going to practice joy for next week, to have some joy. And joy can be through dancing, joy could be through listening to music, watching TV, hanging out with your friends, cooking with your family. Whatever joy is to you, go out and experience it and to let it come into your life. And I used to think that joy was just reserved for special occasions, like when you had a baby, or if you got married, or if you fell in love. And that was like your day of joy. And then I had a good friend of mine tell me that, you know what, you have to shoot for joy every day. That it's not just limited to the big events or the big things that happen in your life that are momentous. It's the everyday seeking of having joy and of understanding that joy can come from simply having a great cup of coffee or a great discussion with an old friend. And so it's to appreciate and to look for the joy in life and being happy with life. So, I think it's a powerful theme for this reading, which is, find your joy, hold on to it, and enjoy it. That was silly, but you know what I mean. Just make it a joyful day. You can create that. Make it a joyful day. And let's get a practice area. Let's get a practice area for next week. This week, starting today. It's peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. So, I think, again, powerful. We're all agents of peace. We're beings we love. And it's natural to sometimes the negative energy seeps through, or the negative thought, or the negative self-talk creeps in. That's a part of life, but it's really up to each person to be able to try to cut it out and to focus on the joy and to focus on the things that bring you pleasure, what you do for activities, what you study, how you live your life, your religious beliefs, how you treat others in giving and receiving. So with peace, releasing the negative energy, you have to focus on the good things and the joyful things and the positive things. And I can tell you that it's the small little things. And I was having a phone call with a friend the other day, and we ended up talking really about someone else. And it was going that way, and I just didn't want to do that. And, I don't want to talk about other people. I want to talk about the activities, the things that you and I might be doing in a positive sense. I don't want to be analyzing someone else's behavior and why I would do things differently. They have their way of living, and that's what's appropriate for them. So to the extent possible, focus on the positive and remember that we're loving people who have so many talents and abilities and capabilities to share love. So go out there, and when you are kind and considerate and happy, you have a smile on your face, you're bringing a peaceful situation to wherever you go. So I hope that you have a fantastic week, starting today through next Saturday. We have a lot of interesting things to think about, and I wish you the best in terms of balancing all aspects, mind, body, spirit. If you enjoyed this type of reading, please let me know. And I would appreciate any comments or feedback. And we'll see if we continue doing this type of reading. So just let me know. And I have other readings on the channel as well, daily and monthly, so please check them out. That would be awesome. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and I thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I wish you the very best. Take care. Bye-bye.